creatures. Living in this world, humans cannot be separated from interaction or reciprocal relationships. We cannot live alone, especially in the way we suffice our needs in our community. Human beings are interdependent in all areas of life, but like a bee with a flower or like a buffalo with a starling, forming a symbol for survival. God made us different from each other. We have different looks, different skin colors, different races, different religions, different nationalities. We have so many differences in this world, but despite those differences, we're still the same human beings created by God. It's a gift from God that makes us so special. That's also what makes our life interesting, wonderful, and tolerable. And we have to be proud of it. We have to learn how to be tolerant and compassionate to each other, because these two are the key we will have a peaceful and wonderful life. So, what exactly is tolerance? Tolerance is a willingness to accept beliefs and behavior that are different from our own, which we might not agree or approve with. Well, is it really that important? Yes, it is. We need tolerance in our lives in order to live peacefully. It's always been known that this earth is inhabited by people of various races, ethnics, and religions. And it's always been a fact that we live in a society whose members have different backgrounds from each other. Well, these differences often lead to friction among the people in the community in order to maintain harmony and unity in the community. Mutual respect from the members of the community is needed. Well, to establish this mutual respect, we have to be tolerant to each other as, we're also the member of this community. Then, what about compassion? What does it mean? Compassion literally means to suffer together. Among emotional researchers, it's defined as the feeling that arises when you are confronted with another's suffering and feel motivated to relieve that suffering. Compassion involves allowing ourselves to be moved by suffering and experiencing the motivation to help alleviate and prevent it. An act of compassion is defined by its helpfulness. Qualities of compassion are patience and wisdom, kindness and perseverance, warmth and resolve. Building compassion that starts with the family is very important. The role of parents is very decisive in guiding our family because that is the smallest form where we can get and learn about compassion. By building compassion and teaching tolerance to families, also helping to care for the homeland, building a family that is full of love and tolerance with others is the main key to maintaining ethics and manners in the patterns of global interactions that change along with advances in information technology. But, quite recently, our beloved country has been preoccupied with the issue of religious tolerance in connection of the emergence of cases of violence in the name of religion, such as burning houses of worship, clashes between people of different religions, acts of terrorism by detonating bomb in a crowded place, and demonstration based on religious fanaticism. So, these violent actions are feared that this could threaten the harmony of religions and splitting of the unity and integrity of our country, which has been fostered for a long time. Therefore, it is necessary to strengthen the fostering of religious tolerance among Indonesian citizens to maintain unity and diversity as a pillar of nation state. But why should we, as citizens, foster religious tolerance? First, because Indonesia is a diverse nation in terms of ethnicity, language, culture, and religion. In terms of religion, for example, there are 6 religions officially recognized by the state. There is Islam, Catholic Christianity, Protestant Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Confucianism. Thus, in order to create harmony, interreligious communities must preserve tolerance. If this religious tolerance can be fostered properly, then the unity and integrity of Indonesian can be maintained. On the other hand, if there is conflict between religious communities, there will be chaos, violence, and riots everywhere between citizens that will likely threaten the integrity of our country. So, in a country as diverse as Indonesia, religious tolerance must be nurtured and preserved as well as possible. Second, because all religions can certainly teach about tolerance, which is the teaching of mutual respect and respect between the adherents of different religions. In our belief, even though every religion believes in the teachings of the truth of its religions, at the same time, it recognizes the existence of other religions. In this case, of course, all religions want goodness, harmony, and peace for all human beings in the world. For example, Islam wants to be a mercy or compassion for the universe. Likewise, Catholic and Protestant wants to spread love to all humankind. Also, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Confucianism certainly want peace and tranquility for all inhabitants of this earth. To achieve this, respect between religious communities is required. Therefore, there will not be a single religion that teaches acts of violence and cruelty among humans. If all religious followers practice their religious teachings as well as possible, tolerance and harmony will be created between religious communities. Third, because Indonesia is a country that recognizes the existence of religions adhered to by its citizens, and at the same time guarantees the freedom to practice its religious teachings according to their beliefs. This is based on the first principle of Pancasila, namely God Almighty. Also, the 29th chapter of the 1945 Constitution concerning religion. The first paragraph says the state is based on the belief in the one and only God. And the second paragraph says the state guarantees the freedom of every citizen to embrace their respective religions and to pray according to their belief and religion. The last one, because the occurrence of violence and riots in the name of religion is not actually caused by the dogma of the religion itself. Because all religions teach us love and peace. They don't teach us acts of violence and riots. This means those acts of violence in the midst of our society are actually not because of religion, but because the misunderstanding, the injustice, the inequality, poverty, and excitement from irresponsible parties. All of this shows that Indonesian citizens must live in harmony and peace among the differences and the diversity of language, culture, and religions and everything around us. Though it is true that tolerance is important, we must be wise on being tolerant. It means that we must set our own principle as to what extent we tolerate something, since it is also wrong to tolerate behavior and beliefs that can be harming and can only create negative effects to us and the society. We must know when we should give tolerance and we shouldn't. We cannot tolerate everything. Tolerance, just like other good things, should not be overly used. Now, imagine if we live without tolerance and compassion. There would be wars everywhere. There would be conflicts too. It would be impossible for us to live together in harmony with those who are different from us. We would live in terror that people outside our groups would attack us anytime. But unfortunately, there are still people out there who feel this terror. The fear of being excluded, mocked, and ridiculed for being who they are and based on what they believe. Just because they're not the same like the rest of the society, they're being discriminated. These people are the minority. They're humans like us too. They have the same rights and obligations just like us, yet they cannot live peacefully like us. Why? It's because there are still intolerant people who live among us who will always play the majority and to justify their evil doings. Well, it's sad, but all we can do is to show love and respect the minority by giving them tolerance and compassion. Thank you.